Hey everyone, welcome to Craving Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Now in this video, I want to discuss a recent article that was published which listed 6 existing characters who would be perfect as a Ghostface killer in Scream 7. Now I have decided to narrow it down to 4 existing characters, and I will share those with you in this video. So get your murder boards out because it is time to talk about some potential Ghostface suspects for Scream 7 or possibly even a later installment in the franchise. Let's go!
Hey, this is Lee Waddell, the original Ghostface from Wes Craven's Scream, and you are watching and tuned into Craving Something Scary.
So Screen Rant recently published an article where they listed their 6 existing characters who they think would be perfect Ghostface killers for Scream 7. And if you would like to see their full list, I would definitely recommend checking out the article on screenrant.com. All right, now let's look at our first list here of what my choices are for the top 4 characters that could be a perfect future Ghostface. Now, coming in at number 4 on my list, it is Danny Brackett. So Sam's Scream 6 boyfriend, yes, Danny Brackett, was almost too perfect, guys, especially since he turned out to be completely innocent in his first movie appearance. As such, it would make sense for Scream 7 to reveal that he isn't so harmless after all. Now, I know the fandom is pretty split on Danny and whether he's a legit good guy or not. And look, he could be, all right? He could actually be like Derek from Scream 2, who ended up really was being a nice guy. Of course, he didn't survive Scream 2, but he ended up, being a really nice, legit boyfriend for Sydney. And that could be the case for Danny. However, there are a couple of things that bug me about Danny in Scream 6. And the first thing is he's unaccounted for in many of the attacks, guys. Many of the attacks in 6, we have no clue where Danny is. No clue. And no one in the movie seems to ever even question about where he's at. Like, there's no concern about where he is. Like, there's never anyone probing him to find out, where were you at, Danny, right? Where was Danny at? So it's just interesting that we don't know where Danny is for many of these attacks as a viewer, and neither do the characters. So that's number 1. That's a very big suspicious red flag. Now, the second thing that bugs me, and I cannot shake it about Danny, was a comment he made to Sam downstairs in the apartment building when we first encounter Sam and Danny together. He's coming in from outside. She's downstairs. There's a comment when they're talking, and he said, yeah, family can be difficult. And that's all he says. He doesn't expand on it. Sam doesn't ask, what do you mean? Nothing like that. He just says, family can be difficult. Guys, listen, just like we saw with Quinn. Quinn saying, talking about how her brother died and her father freaked and that whole thing, that meant something. I also believe this means something. I don't believe that is an accidental line. I think it's an intentional line in the script, and I cannot just get away from it. It just bugs me. It's like a pebble in your shoe. You it's there. It's you just can't get away from it. So I wonder, what does that mean? What family is Danny a part of? Could he be a relative connected to someone from a past Scream film? Because, guys, one thing we know about the Scream franchise, after 6 movies, this movie is all about family, family ties, family connections. That is the DNA of Scream. It is. It just is. It's always family. So this comment about family can be difficult really makes me wonder if that is a huge clue that there's more than meets the eye with Danny Brackett. Hopefully we'll find out in Scream 7. All right, coming in at number 3 for existing characters that could be a perfect Ghostface killer in Scream 7 is Martha Meeks. Yes, that's right. First introduced in Scream 3 as the 17-year-old sister of the deceased Randy Meeks. Now, she was last seen in Scream 5, much older now, of course, and she is the mother, as we know, of the twins, Chad and Mindy. Now, her status as a background character, as well as her motivation in avenging Randy, make her a great surprise killer for Scream 7. And of course, knowing her relationship as the mother of those Meeks twins, Chad and Mindy, and all of the attacks that they've both had. You know, poor Chad. I mean, my gosh, that guy was basically filleted on Scream 6 by 2 Ghostface killers at the same time. So you can imagine as a mother how she must feel. The anger, the revenge that she must want to hold inside of how her poor kids are being attacked now twice in 1 year. They've been under severe attacks. And so I just, Martha Meeks, it would come out a little bit out of left field. It would definitely be a surprise. And so just, her, and another thing about Martha, because she's so harmless, right? She's so innocent. There's an innocence about her. Remember her in 5? She was just, all, happy-go-lucky and all this. It would even make it more twisted if she was revealed as a Ghostface killer. So, you know what? It's at least out there as a possibility. She's in the universe of Scream. She was in 5. Her kids have been seriously injured in 2 movies now. And her brother, of course, was killed by Ghostface back in Scream 2. So, guys, I'm just saying, you know what? I think it's possible. I think it would be interesting and an unexpected turn if Martha Meeks is revealed as a killer in some capacity in Scream 7. I would dig it. I would not hate that at all. All right, guys, now we're getting to the final 2 candidates for my list. Coming in at number 2 is indeed Sam Carpenter. Yes, Melissa Barrera is the new leading final girl of Scream 5 and 6. They've made it very clear that she is the one that they want to be the final girl. She's carrying the torch. Of course, Tara is also right there in the mix, but you can tell Melissa is, or Sam, the character Sam, is the one that's the main one. That's the one. She's the one that has to be there for the Carpenter story to continue. If they couldn't get Tara back because of scheduling, they've got to have Sam. At least with Sam, they can keep going. She's the one that's related to Billy, not Tara. So, all those things there make Sam the real lead final girl of this current trilogy of Radio Silence. So, having said that, they're setting Sam up nicely to naturally flow right into the role of Ghostface. They started with Scream 5. We saw the hallucinations. We saw all that went down there. And, cultivating in her stabbing of Richie, which was amazing, my favorite kill of that movie. And then we see it continue to evolve in 6, meeting with the psychiatrist, talking about how it felt right, what she did, and continuing to see her in the 3rd act just go insanely postal on Bailey. And I'm telling you, the stage is kind of there, honestly, for a turn to be made. And so it's kind of hinted at. We've already seen it. Sam has a sadistic edge to her. She likes it. It's clear that she likes to do it. And so it could be a solid twist to reveal Sam as a Ghostface killer in Scream 7. I would love it. I think it would be pretty darn cool. And I have no complaints here from me about it. I think it would be awesome. And let's face it, guys. Again, this is my own opinion. My favorite kills in 5 and 6 are her kills at the end. Bailey and Richie. Those are my favorite kills. I mean, she's amazing as Ghostface. Could you imagine Sam Carpenter with 6 or 7 kills like she did with Richie and Bill and Bailey? Over the top, just absolutely savage. It would be the most brutal Ghostface we've ever seen. So I'm all for it. And listen, this is not a new position for me. If you guys that you those of you who've been here for a very long time, I've been talking about Sam turning into Ghostface, going to the dark side, way back when Scream 5 was out. Like, this is a long time ago. So this is not something new, but I'm revisiting this again because I think after 6, it's more plausible than ever. So we'll see. Now, finally, guys, wrapping it up at number 1, my number 1 candidate to be a Ghostface killer in Scream 7 to return to the franchise. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is the one and the only Stu Macher. Yeah, buddy, get that Stu train rolling. Get it up, because Scream 6 essentially completely confirmed that Stu Macher could still be alive. The clues have been there in Scream 5 and Scream 6. The breadcrumbs are there. I've done videos here on the channel called Stu's Clues. They're there. I've given you guys the clues. I've given you guys his motives of why he's coming back now instead of before. It's all here on the channel. If you haven't seen the videos, go search and you'll see them here. So, Stu returning in Scream 7 would be the perfect twist, and it would be the perfect ending to this movie. And you know what? There were so many rumors with 6, and there was a lot of rumors in 6 actually that he may make the return then. And I was always on record saying, no, don't bring Stu in 6. I want him in 7. Don't do it in 6. Bring him in 7. And let's get Sidney Prescott back. Let's get Neve Campbell re-signed. Let's do it the right way. Because once Neve was out in 6, I'm like, let's don't do it. Hold on. Just wait. Let's get 6 done. And then now let's get Sidney back. Let's get Sidney and we bring Stu back. And we're going to end this thing in an amazing fashion. Amazing fashion. So it would be absolutely for a full circle to have Sidney back, Stu Macher back. Just absolutely fantastic. It would be what more of a showdown and a fitting send-off for Sidney versus what she got in Scream 5. This is the way to go. This is the way to go. And also, with Matthew Lillard starring in the upcoming Five Nights at Freddy's movie in October, it's obviously clear that he's, wants to work in horror movies still. He's been very, very vocal about his desire to return to Scream as Stu Macher, very upfront about that. And Neve also has been upfront and not ruled out the possibility of coming back. She's gone on record saying that she feels that Sidney's story is not done. There's more chapters to Sidney Prescott to be told. And she's up for coming back if the offer is fair for compensation. And you know what? We get through this strike that's going on right now, and these producers meet her salary demands and pay her a fair wage, then I think we're going to get her back. I think it's going to happen. And if all that happens, I think Scream 7 could provide the perfect stage for one more long-awaited face-off between Sidney and Stu. and it will be absolutely epic and incredible. Absolutely fantastic. And I know some of you here are thinking, oh no, Stu's dead. Listen, guys, I respect your opinion. I really do. And it's okay. But I will tell you this. If you don't believe Stu's alive or could have survived, a couple of things. Number one, radio silence has completely changed the game. With Chad surviving Scream 6, there is now absolutely no reason Stu cannot come back. Like if there ever, and I still think there was no reason before that. But if you held that view, now radio silence has blown the roof off of it, of how a character can survive. Because now it's easy. It's like simple. It's like Stu's injuries are mild. I mean, Stu was stabbed 4 times, guys. 4 times. Chad stabbed 24 times. And 17 of those are in the upper torso area. So it's like, yeah, come on, man. Radio silence just changed the game. So now anyone, basically, unless you're shot in the head, can come back. That's number one. But number two, even before that, Stu absolutely could have survived his injuries. And if you have not seen a stream that I did here on the channel, it's called The People versus Stu Macher. You need to see this and look at the factual data that we present. It's pretty compelling stuff. It's not opinions. It's not subjective. It's actual statistical evidence and data from real cases. So check it out if you haven't seen it, The People versus Stu Macher, so that you'll at least understand that my position that Stu Macher is alive is not based in irrational thought. It's based in very plausible possibility and evidence. All right. So having said all that, guys, let's go. Stu trained for Scream 7. That's my number one hope, that Stu Macher does make it back in 7. Let's go. Radio silence, Guy and James, the writers, have an amazing opportunity right here in front of them to do this. They've given us clues in 5, and they've given us clues in 6 that Stu is alive. They are there in the movies if you're paying close attention. And all they need to do at this point is capitalize and turn in and cash in on the opportunity that they've presented. And it would be incredible. So I hope that they do that. All right, guys. So those are my top 4 existing characters that I think would be perfect killers in Scream 7 or beyond even. All right. But I want to know, what do you think about the possibility of one of these 4, or maybe more of it, maybe 2 of these 4, or any combination thereof, existing characters being a Ghostface killer in Scream 7 or Scream 8 or just a Scream future film? Leave your comments, theories, and ideas about them right now in the comments section below, and let's start discussing it together. I really enjoy reading your feedback and your thoughts, guys. I really do. You guys have some great ideas out there. So please leave them in the comments. Otherwise, I won't know what you're thinking. So do share it. All right, now that's going to be all for this update, but I'm going to be back soon with more Scream and other horror movie content as well. So don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And until next time, this is Craven Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time.